Cent says he gave the BMF family $5 million legal dollars, so he does not understand where the money went, how Little Meech blew it before Big Meech got out of jail, but he feels extremely betrayed after that picture got taken between Big Meech and Rick Ross after he got out of jail. Now we know Rick Ross has this song where he's like, I think I'm Big Meech, Larry Hoover, and that's the Big Meech that gets portrayed by Little Meech on the TV show BMF Power, produced by 50 Cent. And it's ironic, right? I mean, it'd be kind of easy to see why the real Big Meech would like that song by Ross, but if 50 Cent gives your family, you know, $5 million in cash, whether it's through acting, I think he was paying for acting lessons for Lil Meech, you gotta have some appreciation. And you know, before more details unfolded, like $5 million, because people were like, oh, 50 Cent doesn't pay people, he's always suing people, look how he paid Ghost from Power less than Mary J. Blige on Power Book. But if Little Meech got $5 million and he's nobody except the son of somebody famous, then he definitely could have treaded carefully with this Rick Ross thing. I don't think Rick Ross even gave him $1 million for whatever they did. It was a picture, it was an event. I doubt it was $1 million. I doubt it was 500,000. I doubt it was 200,000. I think it was $100,000 or less, whatever Big Meech did for Ross, and he sold his relationship with 50 for a $100,000 picture, basically.
Big Meech's nephew just threw some serious shade at 50 Cent in some leaked audio. And you already know 50 ain't the type to let that slide. The tension between 50 and the BMF family is hitting new levels. And now, it's getting real personal. From 50 taking shots at Big Meech and his son Lil Meech, to now going at Meech's nephew, this whole situation is spiraling out of control. If you know anything about 50 Cent, then you know he's about to respond in the pettiest, most savage way possible. This feud has been brewing for a while now, and it all started when 50 came for Big Meech, throwing out accusations that had the streets buzzing. He basically called Meech a snitch, and in this game, being labeled a rat is like throwing a grenade in a crowded room. Then 50 cranked up the heat, turning Instagram into his personal battlefield. He started dropping cryptic posts, shady lyrics, and some not-so-subtle shots. But when he hit him with a rat emoji alongside Rick Ross lyrics, oh, it was on! And just when folks thought it couldn't get any messier, 50 took to social media on Tuesday, February 25th, dropping what he claimed were legal documents proving Big Meech had cooperated with federal informants. These receipts came from social media personality 1090 Jake, and according to 50, they allegedly show how Tammy Cowens used info from Big Meech to help the feds take down major traffickers. We're talking about some serious accusations here. Allegations that could shake up the whole legacy of BMF. And this ain't just gossip. Real names are getting dropped, and old cases are being dragged back into the spotlight. But that's not even the wildest part. Lil Meech, who plays his own father on 50's BMF series, should have had a solid bond with 50, right? Wrong! Instead, 50 started putting him on blast too, claiming dude had some major issues on set. And not just little slip-ups, we're talking about serious accusations like having a substance problem and even needing rehab. And here's where it gets even crazier. 50 didn't just keep this between them. He straight up said that other cast members, including Russell Hornsby, and even producers, had seen Lil Meech's behavior firsthand. Then came 42 Dugg, who allegedly put up $100,000 for Big Meech when he got out of prison. But instead of dapping him up, 50 took issue with it. Big time. As usual, 50 took to Instagram with his signature petty energy, calling out Dugg for giving that money to Meech instead of looking out for his own people. He made it loud and clear when he posted, "Your daddy, my ninja, I love you, and cheese cars of Q. You made a mistake giving Screech 100,000. You could have given that to your ninjas. You always been hard-headed. WTF." But 42 Dugg wasn't about to let that slide. He clapped back on his Instagram stories, standing firm behind Big Meech and making it known that nobody was about to convince him to turn his back on Detroit. And when blogs started running wild with the $100,000 story, Dugg shut it down completely, calling it straight-up fake news. Just when folks thought the drama had hit its peak, 50 Cent did what he does best. He dropped receipts. He leaked some text messages, and let's just say, the streets have been waiting on this one. These leaked text messages spilled some serious tea. Laugh out loud, I'm not gonna blow you up, bro. But Cuffy's nephew said he got the audio of him, 42 Dugg, and Meech on a three-way call. They about to drop it, him confronting Meechum and Meech putting him with Tammy. He got the records to prove it. So basically, we got Baby, Cuffy's nephew, 42 Dugg, and Big Meech, all on this explosive three-way call. And let me tell you, things went left real fast. When the audio finally hit the streets, it was exactly the kind of drama folks had been whispering about. In this call, BB wasn't holding back at all. He came straight for Big Meech, pressing him with the tough questions everyone's been too scared to ask. Why was Meech still rocking with Tammy Cowens after everything that went down with Cuffy? If she really turned informant and helped bring down key BMF associates, why hasn't Meech cut her off completely? The tension was real. And that call? It just added more fire to the already messy situation. And let's just say, Big Meech didn't have a solid answer for that one. The call got real uncomfortable, real fast. Bebe kept pressing, demanding to know why Tammy Cowens was still in the picture after all the allegations against her. If she really played a role in taking down BMF associates, why was Meech still keeping her close? But instead of giving a clear answer, Meech kept deflecting, dodging the questions like he knew the heat was on. And that only made things worse. Baby wasn't letting up. And the more he pushed, the more awkward things got. It was clear Meech wasn't expecting to be confronted like that, especially not on a recorded call. And then came the bombshell. Baby claimed he had actual records that could prove everything. If what he was saying was true, this wasn't just street gossip anymore. This was real paperwork, real evidence that could shake things up in a major way. That's when the call took a wild turn. Voices started raising, tempers flared, and before you knew it, the conversation turned into a full-blown shouting match. Meech was backed into a corner, and it was clear he didn't like where this was going. And just when it seemed like it couldn't get any more chaotic, the call cut off. But the damage was already done. The streets had already heard enough. And now, everybody was waiting to see what would happen next. But the fallout from that call? Oh, it was just getting started. The moment that audio hit the streets, everybody had something to say. Suddenly, it wasn't just about old accusations anymore. This was a full-blown scandal, and Big Meech was right in the middle of it. The streets were buzzing with one big question. Was Meech really protecting Tammy Cowens, even after everything she allegedly did? And if so, why? Then, out of nowhere, more whispers started spreading. Some folks were saying Meech wasn't just staying quiet about Tammy, he was actually working with her. That set off a whole new firestorm, and people started looking at Meech sideways. Could it really be true? Or was this just another attempt to tear down his legacy? Meanwhile, 50 Cent wasted no time jumping into the mess. If you thought he was gonna sit back and let this play out, think again. He was back on social media, fanning the flames and making sure this drama stayed front and center. And of course, he didn't just post and move on. He started dropping more receipts, screenshots, cryptic messages, and just enough breadcrumbs to keep people hooked. It was clear 50 wanted everybody to start questioning Meech's loyalty and past decisions. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get any worse, rumors started swirling that even more audio might be coming. If this first leak caused this much chaos, imagine what else could be out there. And just like that, the streets were on high alert. Because if one call could shake things up this much, what else was out there? The whispers turned into full-blown speculation. People started questioning everything. Was this just the beginning? Was there more damning proof waiting to drop? And most importantly, who else was involved? Meanwhile, 50 Cent kept feeding the fire. He wasn't just sitting back and watching, he was stirring the pot every chance he got. More shady posts, more subliminals, and just enough hints to make it clear that he knew something the rest of us didn't. Then, out of nowhere, a new twist. Word started spreading that someone close to Meech was about to speak out. A major player. Someone with inside knowledge who could either clear Meech's name or bury him even deeper. And that's when folks started looking at Lil Meech. He had already been caught up in 50's accusations. But now, people were wondering where he really stood. Was he gonna ride for his father? Or was he about to get pulled into the crossfire? One thing was for sure, this wasn't over. Not by a long shot. And with all the tension, receipts, and street chatter building up, everybody knew one thing. Somebody was about to expose the truth. But instead of shutting down the rumors once and for all, Big Meech stayed on the defensive. He made it crystal clear. He didn't owe anyone an explanation. Not BB, not the streets, nobody. Meech straight up said, "If people think I'm snitching, they better show the paperwork." And we all know who's been claiming to have that paperwork locked and loaded, 50 Cent. But BB wasn't backing down, not even a little. He kept pressing, demanding answers, especially about why Meech never cut ties with Tammy Cowens despite all the accusations against her. And listen, BB wasn't just talking. He was saying what a lot of people had already been thinking. Why hasn't Meech ever publicly addressed Tammy's alleged role in Cuffy's situation? Why is she still connected to him after everything that went down? The streets had questions, and Meech wasn't giving answers. Then, things hit a breaking point. Baby started going off, and just like that, Meech hung up the call. And let's be real, that was not a good look. If you're standing on business, why cut the convo short? And if that wasn't messy enough, BB wasn't done. After the audio leaked, he sat down for a no-holds-barred 30-minute interview with Dogface TV, where he dropped even more bombshells. In this sit-down, BB went deeper into the tangled mess between Big Meech, 42 Dugg, and his uncle, Dion Cuffy. And what he said? It made the snitching accusations even worse. According to Baby, Big Meech knew exactly what Tammy Cowens was doing. And not only that, her involvement with the feds was allegedly supposed to get Meech a time cut on his sentence. And here's the kicker. BB claims there's actual paperwork to prove it. If those documents see the light of day, this whole situation could explode in ways nobody saw coming. These legal documents? They're shaking the table. According to them, Tammy Cowens allegedly claimed that she met Dion Cuffy through Big Meech, which means Cuffy got pulled into this legal mess because of Meech. But that's just the beginning. Apparently, Big Meech also introduced Fidel Suarez to Tammy, and now, multiple names are tangled up in this so-called third-party cooperation mess. And while Meech might have gotten some kind of benefit from this arrangement, Dion Cuffy wasn't so lucky. He ended up getting slapped with 27 years behind bars. According to Baby, that happened because of third-party cooperation, which is exactly why folks in the streets are throwing around that word rat. And just when you think it couldn't get any worse, 50 Cent is sitting on receipts. And y'all know he's not the type to keep them private. 50's been airing out anybody linked to his enemies. And guess what? Big Meech and Lil Meech have been spotted getting cozy with 50's longtime rivals. That was all the fuel 50 needed to go full throttle. And how did he respond? You already know, he ran straight to Instagram. 50 did what he does best, firing off cryptic messages, cracking jokes, and throwing shots at Meech and his whole family. But the real bombshell? 50 started teasing a tell-all documentary about BMF, featuring Tammy Cowens. If that documentary drops, it's gonna blow the lid off everything. And let's not forget, 50 has been on Lil Meech's neck too. After leaking text messages where Lil Meech was trying to keep things cool, 50 went nuclear, threatening to drop him from the BMF show entirely. But that's not all. 50 kept pushing those substance allegations, claiming that cast members and producers saw it all firsthand. And then he took it even further, accusing Big Meech of enabling his son's behavior. At this point, the whole situation is a disaster. There's no sign of peace, no sign of this blowing over. And the streets? They want answers now. Beeb's applying serious pressure, 50 Cent's dropping paperwork, and Dion Cuffy is serving 27 years. If this third-party cooperation deal really went down, Big Meech's legacy could take a serious hit, maybe one too big to come back from. So where do things go from here? Honestly, it's anybody's guess. One thing we do know, 50 Cent is far from done. Whether it's more Instagram shade, another documentary bombshell, or even some legal moves. You never really know what 50's got up his sleeve. As for Big Meech's family, they're not backing down either. His nephew is already stepping up, talking big, and making it clear they're ready to defend their name at all costs. And if Lil Meech decides to jump into the mix, oh, this is gonna get even more heated. One thing's for sure, this beef is nowhere near finished. With all these major players involved, this could go down as one of the messiest, most public feuds we've seen in a long time. But I gotta ask, y'all, does Big Meech really owe the streets an explanation? Or is he right to stay silent and let the rumors fly? And what about 50 Cent? Is he just being his usual petty self? Or is he really exposing the truth? And the biggest question, will this feud damage the BMF legacy forever? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And while you're at it, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you never miss the latest updates. Also, check out the next video on your end screen. You definitely don't want to miss it. See y'all in the next one.